GingerGM.
Hello, welcome back after what has been quite a long break, and hoping to get a bit more material out there to help you guys out. Still got some crazy ideas in mind, but I thought it'd be useful to get back into playing a longer time limit, do something a bit more educational where I can help you learn about the way a Grandmaster thinks. Now, in the past, I've been plagued by numerous cheats. So in this one, I've set up a match against my good friend and the other half of GingerGM, Simon Ansell, International Master Simon Ansell. So I'm going to be playing a very good player in this game, a proper challenge. Let me just bring up some pictures of old Si so you know who the enemy is. And you can see here, he's been nicknamed Count Dracula or Countula. And there he is on the left as a cartoon. And there we are up in York with our Viking hats on. And there he is at the chessboard. And currently Si is only rated 2340. But he's been a lot higher than that. He's been over 2400. He's an extremely good player. But he's a guy who really does all the programming, the website stuff at GingerGM. It's just me and him running GingerGM, and he's really, we are GingerGM. So he's a very strong player. Like I said, international master. He just doesn't play as much nowadays as he used to. So the idea of this video is I'm going to play a longer time limit, 15 minutes plus 10 seconds to move. I'm going to be explaining my thought processes in quite some detail, so you guys at home can get into the mind of a Grandmaster. You can see how a Grandmaster thinks, and you can try to relate to the way I'm thinking. And even if I lose, I'm sure it'll be quite educational. I had a funny email today. I had an email and it started off saying, you can ignore me as much as you like, but I will get my revenge. And then it threatened me with my life for copying someone else's chess analysis in my Blitz games, which is a very amusing start to the day. So if you are that nutter, hi, don't kill me. And one of the reasons I haven't done much, things have been going on at home, but now I've got more time. I mean, many more videos. It's just, we can be quite busy and other things have got in the way here as well. So, right, well, let's get on to the game. I'm going to now challenge Simon, and hopefully he has got that challenge coming through. Let's just make sure. Okay. And let's make sure it's all okay. Let me just see. I might have to do that again. So where are you, Simon? And rated. And science. Okay, he's not accepting challenges. You're not accepting challenges. Typical, eh? As soon as you will have to change settings. Okay, so we'll get the game on in a minute. Cool, I've got a bit of sunlight there. What's that? Is that following me about? That's weird. Okay, we'll get rid of the sun. We don't want the sun as it's coming up to Halloween. Maybe I should do like a Halloween stream tomorrow where I just play the Halloween Gambit. Was it the Frankenstein Gambit? Other things like that. That could be quite interesting. But I'm aiming to do a couple of streams this week. I've just got partnership on basically Twitch, which I don't really know much about, but apparently it's a good thing. So you can now subscribe to my channel on Twitch, and I'm aiming again to do more of that. Okay, so the challenge has gone through now. I'm sure Si will be playing soon. Okay, it's gone through, and here we are. Okay, we're off. So we're going to get Simon on at the end of the game as well to get his thoughts on this matchup, and he can explain the way he's been thinking as well. Now, most of the material I've done for GingerGM and for ChessBase has been on d4, because that's the move I play the most, 1d4. And after this move, I've been playing two openings. I've been playing the London system, as I'm sure you're aware, with Bishop f4. But in the Killer d4 DVDs, two-part DVD you can buy from our shop, I concentrate on the typical setup with c4, the Queen's Gambit. This is, and I go for many aggressive setups. Now, against c6, I do two things now. I have an aggressive repertoire and a less aggressive repertoire. My less aggressive repertoire is capturing on d5, the exchange Slav. But I still think that's quite interesting, no matter what people say. But my most aggressive repertoire is a Gambit line, which I know Simon is well accustomed to, but let's test it out. And that is with knight to c3. Of course, I know Simon's openings very well. Another move order I've been playing recently is knight to f3 first, and I'll explain why after the game. That is another little move order. And when you're trying to get your opening system set up, you need to really know what move order you're going to go. So Simon has accepted my Gambit. So this is one of those lines where black accepts the pawn on c4. Now, a lot of people, when they're starting off with chess and they're learning the Queen's Gambit, they get very afraid of this position for white, because they're like, oh no, I've lost the pawn. But the whole point of the way I recommend you play d4, if you're not doing the London system, is to follow this up with e4. And in return for the one pawn you've gambited, you get two very good central pawns, and having a good center like this is great. And later on, if black aims to defend the pawn on c4, we can attack the queen side with moves like a4 and even b3. We can have these little jabs over here. So Simon has decided to defend his queen side. If he didn't do that, I would have gone bishop takes pawn. I would have been equal on material, and I'd still retain my big center. So he's got to really play in this way. Now, then my next move, a4, is very typical for this structure when black has this set up over here. a4 aims to open up and really pressurize my opponent's queenside pawns, because if I let them stabilize over there, then my opponent will naturally get a nice hold on the queen side. Now, he's really forced to come forwards, because if he hadn't come forwards, I could take on b5 and I'd win my pawn back. There are some variations there which are interesting, but this b4 move is the main line, because he gains the tempo. I have to move my knight. Now, every possible move, b1, a2, e2, are all pretty okay here. I've always been a fan of knight to e2, because I want my knight to go to g3, because when it reaches the g3 square, it has potential over on the king side. And I've always found my knight on a2 or b1 to be slightly in the way of pieces, and it gives black another chance later on to attack my knight over there. So again, even though I'm pawn down here, this is theory that I've discussed before and that I've had before, and this is all very normal. Now, my opponent, Simon, being the player he is, has played the best move. No surprise there. He's moved his bishop to, again, try to hold on to his extra pawn. And this is certainly the best way to play. Now, I'm going to set a little trap here. I'm going to move my knight to g3, continuing my plan. And I'm going to hope he goes knight to f6. Now, knight to f6 would be a mistake, because it allows me to go e5, e6. And that is a double pawn sacrifice. But if I can get my pawn to e6, it's very, very dangerous to him, because he'd have to take my pawn, but that destroys his position, because his bishop then would not be able to develop very easily, because he has two pawns in the way. Simon, being an international master, realizes that that double pawn sacrifice was very dangerous, so he has stopped my idea of e5 and e6. I can now not do that. So the next stage of my plan is to combine developing with ideas of just winning back the pawn on c4, because the pawn on c4 is a weakness, and I can aim to either get a rook to c1 or even a knight to e5. But again, when you've got these kind of positions, do not panic. You have sacked a pawn. They're very interesting. Whoever says d4 openings are boring, you're completely wrong, because these positions are very rich. But I'm just going to develop, and I like getting my knights out first. So I'm going to go knight to f3, and now I'm going to either try to go knight to e5 straight away. I'm probably not in a rush to win this pawn. I'm not in a rush to win this pawn. My opponent, Simon, can only defend it with his bishop. If he ever tries to defend it with a knight, Then I have a5 chasing that knight away. So we can only really defend this pawn with one piece. If he ever pushes that pawn on, I will take the pawn on c3, and the pawn on c3 will be so weak it will be lost. So my aim here is really to finish my development. I want to do that first. When I finish my development, to win the pawn back. Okay, now Simon is playing very aggressively. He's played a move that is aiming to disrupt my position straight away. Now, of course, I don't want to take on c5 because certainly don't want to exchange queens, not being a pawn down and not displacing my king like that. Now, I think there's only one move here, by the way. I don't want to allow Simon to take on d4. That doesn't look too much fun for me, because if he takes on d4, he has a very good c5 square for a piece. So the only natural move I can see here is to play d5 myself. And this doesn't require much thought, because when you're looking at the options, if you relate that the other options are bad, it only gives you one option. I don't want to get the queens off. I want to keep my opponent's double pawns. I also want to get a pass pawn. This d pawn could be very dangerous in the ending. I may even be able to, get some great ending position. And again here, my move is pretty much forced. Don't spend a lot of time on your forced moves. You'll need your time later on. I don't want to take my queen. I don't want an ending. Of course not. Now, I'm just wondering how I'm going to deal with his knight coming out here. This is going to be quite interesting. But I don't have much choice. I'm not even going to think about it. I have to go pawn takes. I'm going to worry about knight to f6 when it occurs. I'm hoping I have bishop g5. And I may even have to sacrifice another pawn in that position. Now let's have a think about that, because we should think. Now, given a chance, what am I going to do? Well, I think I'm going to go bishop g5 anyway. Could I have played that last move? Maybe I should have considered that last move. Okay, so Simon is really threatening to win a second pawn here. Now, how am I going to deal with this? Now I need to think quite accurately. I've got two ideas. Knight to f5. You can see how my g3 knight, I like it over there now. Or bishop g5, developing. Other moves, I'm not going to consider. I don't have time to go bishop e2 and castles, because Simon will go queen takes d5 and he will develop his bishop. I've got to cause him more trouble here. I'm already a pawn down. I might go 2 pawns down. I need to cause him maximum grief. I have queen c2 is quite interesting. Let's have a think. So if bishop g5, my opponent Simon will go queen takes d5. Now, I have queen takes queen, knight takes queen, castles queenside, threatening the knight. If his knight moves, I even have rook d8 checkmate. And then I have my knight coming in, but it is 2 pawns, but I have great compensation. I need to really calculate this. This is key for how the rest of the game goes. Bishop g5 I like, queen takes. Now bishop takes f6, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, pawn takes f6. How does that look? Doesn't look great for me, because I don't see my compensation in that position. My knight on f3 can't get in. I'm a little bit too behind. I've got knight f5, so what? So the only way to make bishop g5 work is if he goes queen takes here, to play queen takes queen, knight takes queen, castle queenside, threatening his knight. Now if he plays a move like f6 or h6, I have rook takes here, pawn takes there, and then do I have enough compensation with knight to f5 ideas and bishop takes c4? As looks like good compensation for me. I don't know if it's quite enough. Let's have a look. Bishop g5, queen takes here. Again, if I'm losing my calculation, I'm going back to the start. Queen takes here, queen takes, knight takes, castles queenside. Now what about knight f6 there? Knight f6 there. Well, then I have knight to e5, and it's very hard for him to develop, and I'm winning that pawn back unless he goes c3. And if he plays c3, I can capture the bishop and bring my other rook in. That looks fantastic compensation. I'm double checking now. Bishop here, queen takes. You've got to go with a little bit of instinct. Queen takes, knight takes, castles queenside, h6, maybe the best move he's got. Now, do I have anything more dynamic? Like bishop takes c4, and bishop takes c4, rook to e1 check, king to d7. Whoa, knight to e5. I like this. Knight to e5 check. King somewhere, knight takes c4, and if he takes there, I take on d5. Every line I've analysed so far is looking good for me. Now, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to play it. I'm pretty confident this is okay. Knight to f5, is that worth considering here? Queen takes d5. And then I have a check, queen e2 check. He has queen e6. It might be okay, but I'm gonna move my bishop in the game because this seems entirely natural. Now, of course, he doesn't have to take on d5. He can wimp out and play a move like bishop e7. But if he does something like that, I've got knight f5 coming. And I should be okay because I've got d6 ideas, knight takes g7 ideas. If he does wimp out and tries to castle. You know, if he tries to castle here, maybe he should do. Maybe he should just go bishop d6. But then, again, I have knight e4, bishop e2. Maybe taking on d5 is too risky for him here. And if I was black here, my instinct would be telling me, get castled, because my piece is a better position to start an attack. And grabbing another pawn may be possible. He may get away with it. A computer might get away with it. But a human getting away with that looks very risky. So I'm going to calculate other options, because I think I calculated queen takes pawn enough. So bishop d6... then I would be very tempted just to go bishop e2, castles, and play that position. Do I not have anything a bit more dynamic now? Bishop d6, knight e4, queen e7, for example, and then queen e2. He castles. I'm not sure I like that. Bishop d6. Because if he gets a rook to e8, my king's a little bit is not happy there. So bishop d6, it kind of seems I should be castling. Bishop d6, but knight f5 is very aggressive. Bishop d6, knight f5. So see how I'm using my opponent's time to think. This is a key idea. You need to use your opponent's time to think about your own ideas, saving you time when you're playing. Chess is a very intense game. You haven't got time to relax until the game is over. And I mean, a knight on f5, it's very famous that a knight on f5, I streamed about this the other day, but getting a knight to f5 is, as Gary Kasparov said, worth a pawn. Quite often, it's worth a pawn. A knight on f5 is an incredibly strong piece. But let's have a look. Other options. Bishop d6. Oh, he's gone for it. Well, I'm surprised about that, but let's have a look. Well, I think I'm going to stick with my calculations. Now, if I take on f6, he takes here. Rook takes, pawn takes f6. No, I'm going to have to go queen takes queen and castle queenside. This is the way, giving up 2 pawns. Now, maybe he has f6 there. I think my pieces are still going to give me enough compensation, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go queen takes queen, and I'm going to castle queenside. And I'm going for quick development. I'm going for open lines on the D and the E file, but yes, I'm 2 pawns down. Now, this is the line I analysed, and I analysed pawn takes c4 here was my brilliant idea, but is it a load of baloney? Bishop takes c4. Now, in that position, I need to calculate bishop here, check, and then king d7. But it's come to my attention that after bishop takes here, bishop takes check, he has bishop e7, which I initially did not see. And that's annoying, because then bishop takes, knight e7. He has a couple of ways to defend. That's annoying. So I might have to go rook takes here now. Rook takes here, pawn takes. And then I really want to get my other rook here, but it's not easy to do. I've still got good compensation there, I'm sure, but it's not what I wanted. I miscalculated. I should have double checked. So bishop takes here, bishop takes. I really want to get this to work, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Rook check, bishop e7, and then rook takes d5, pawn takes here. Leads to the same or similar thing. Rook takes here, complex bishop e6. Very complicated. So bishop takes c4. I want to really get this rook here, but I can't get it to work. Takes, check. And I forgot about bishop e7. Let's check one more time. Bishop e7. Do I not have a good move there? Bishop takes, knight takes. and that position he seems to be holding. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this. The other line doesn't work, so I realize there's only 2 moves I could play there. Retreating my bishop is not working. This is the only move I can play, and now I need to reassess the position. Now I really want to play bishop takes here again, but check, bishop e7. What am I doing there? Knight f5, he takes here, rook here, bishop e6. It doesn't seem to work. Now I've got knight takes pawn, getting 1 pawn back and keeping a little bit of pressure. Knight f5, he will go g6. Do I then have bishop takes pawn? Pawn takes f5, check, bishop e7, takes, knight takes, rook e5, some ending. Whew! Knight to f5 is the kind of move I really want to play here to try to keep maximum attacking chances. Now, other moves. What other moves do I have? So this is definitely not working. Takes here, takes. Very complex. Here, bishop e7. Now, rook takes e7. Takes, knight f5, check. King e6. Check. King takes here. I don't have many pieces left there to mate him with, and I've got to play a little bit more urgency. Knight f5 is my main choice. I'm just checking other things. Takes, check, bishop e7. Just feels like there should be something really strong for me here, but I can't see it. Bishop e7, and well, it's a pity. It just seems like I should have a killer blow. Takes, take here. Okay, I might go for knight f5 then. I mean, knight takes g5 is very sensible. But then bishop here. Knight e5, bishop b7 is putting me off when I don't want to retreat my rook. Oh, I have bishop takes here then. Bishop takes bishop. Oh, that's good. Maybe knight e5 is possible. Knight to this square, just trying to win my pawn back, because if bishop b7 takes here. Now, knight f5 or knight e5, one of these moves looks correct to me. I really like knight e5. I'm not worried about this pawn. This is irrelevant. This bishop here takes, and if he takes here, bishop takes here. Ah, that looks good. Knight e5, because then I'm threatening to get my rook to e1. If f6, I take here with a knight. I like it. Let's just see how good knight f5 was again. So knight f5 was the other thing, because then I'm really threatening bishop takes c4. So knight f5, g6. I just want to double check these variations very quickly now. g6, and then there bishop takes c4. Pawn takes f5. Rook check. Bishop e7. Not convinced. I'm going for this one. I was just doing some very basic calculations there. I'm using the process of elimination. I've got to keep an eye on my time. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time on moves. Hopefully you're following my calculation. Incredibly tactical game this. This is why I'm spending a lot more time. And knight to f5 was a good option in that last position. But I'm trying to keep as much pressure on my opponent as possible. I could have taken on g5 as well, getting 1 pawn back. The reason I put my knight on this square, twofold. One, I want to take on c4, so I can get my rook to e1. That would be fantastic. Number 2, I don't want his knight to be able to develop, because if his knight cannot develop, then he can't develop his queen side. Number 3, I have to calculate that if bishop b7, I have bishop takes c4. If bishop takes rook, bishop takes bishop, and then my bishop will be winning his rook there, so I'll end up a piece up. If he plays bishop e7, this is another reason, then I go knight to f5. I can't allow him to castle, so then I'm going to throw this knight into f5 and stop him from castling, and this pawn is going. What other moves? Maybe he should play rook h6 here. Rook h6 may be a very clever move to try and bring the rook across, but then I can play either knight takes c4 or bishop takes c4, and my last piece will come into the game. I'm only 1 pawn down. Even though the queens are off the board, the attack is still going in this position. So as far as I calculated, I pretty much calculated every possible move he can play. I mean, if f6, I just go knight takes c4. Worst case scenario, but I may even have after f6 knight to g6, and then knight takes f8. So this looks like rubbish, and this position to me it looks incredibly difficult for Simon now. But I'm a bit short of time, so I need to make sure I keep my speed up. Look at my opponent's rating as well. Is this really his rating? 23.49 at this time limit. I wonder how Si's so high. He's obviously played some good games at this time limit. But as we know, Simon could have been a grandmaster if he'd kept playing chess. But like I say now, he does more programming. If you like the GingerGM website, it was all Simon really who did the design and everything, and the flexibility, functionality. So if you're looking, I'm going to give him a little plug. If you're looking for someone to build a website, Simon may be able to help you with certain aspects. I know, don't take all the work from GingerGM because he's got a lot to do for us as well. But that is certainly a possibility. So now Si is having a long think. So okay, what's he thinking of? Well, bishop e7, knight to f5 must be good for me. Must be good. And where am I going to take on c4 with my knight or my bishop? Let's say rook h6. What will I take with then? Well, I kind of want to take with a bishop because my rook can then come to the open file. So rook h6. I mean, if rook h6, another move I shouldn't forget about is then I have knight f5 attacking his rook. But then rook h6, knight f5, rook to f6 attacks my knight. All my pieces so active. There must be some massive blows there. I think after rook h6, I just play simply with bishop takes c4, because if you can't see an immediate win when you're playing, bring in your reinforcements. My two pieces that are not working are my bishop on f1 and my rook on h1. Now, chess is all about restrain and push, restraining your opponent's ideas. I'm trying to do that, as you can see with my last move. I'm trying to restrain the development of Simon's knight on b8, but also I'm trying to push through my own ideas here. So I'm trying to threaten to capture upon c4 and bring in my reinforcements. Now, I was looking there for an immediate win, but if you can't see an immediate win in a position, don't try to force things too much. Try to look at your reinforcements. Okay, very interesting move from Si. He's brought his rook to h4, defending c4, a move I did not consider. Very interesting. Now, he might want to also go rook d4. Very good move from Simon there. Not surprising. So, do I now have bishop takes here? Bishop takes. Oh, it's check. Knight to f5. He goes rook to this square. Then knight here. Okay, knight here. Rook here. Wow, that's a really good move that Simon's found there. I did not consider that move, and that's an annoying move. I can go knight back to f3, try to repeat. Not a bad idea when you're so short of time, but I obviously don't want to do that. Okay, knight here, rook to f4, g4. Bit slow, Simon. Bit slow. Knight here, rook here. Do I have any tactics there? Knight takes here, takes. Nope, no checks. Here, rook here. And he's found a very good defensive move there. Knight takes here. Bishop takes. Bishop takes, rook takes. King b1. And then here, rook here. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay. Knight here. I've got to move quick. Here. G4 seems too slow. Knight here, rook here. Knight e3. Trying to really win this pawn. Bishop here. Bishop takes c6. Okay, maybe that's the way to play it. It's a pity that takes. Just double check. Okay, I've got to move quick. I'm going to have to throw my pieces in. It's the only natural way. Now, you can also play rook to e4. It is a possibility. My pieces look very active, but I'm running very short of time here. And, you know, this could come back to haunt me unless I've got... I mean, it's very potential I've missed something even stronger in the way I'm playing. But look at my pieces. It just feels like this should... Okay, he's gone here instead, trying to come in. Now, knight to e3, possible. Is this check anything for him? I've got f3. So takes is the move I really want to play. Bishop takes. And then knight takes, rook takes check, king here, threatening maybe rook e1 with mate, but he has f6, and unless I have something fantastic, I have a check rook here. Again, don't believe it. Looks like knight to e3 is my only possibility here. Must be some tactical solution, I would have thought here, but I just can't see the tactical solution. So I might have to go for knight e3 and just try to win this one back, but it looks quite slow now. Bishop e2 takes rook d1. Aha, threatening this check here. Oh, how about that, boys and girls? Just trying to get my rook to this square. I mean, bishop takes here is natural, but after bishop takes, he's attacking my rook. But after here, he got bishop to b7. And then, I'm not sure what I have. Bishop to b7. That, rook here. Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? Bishop e2, and if he takes, I have rook d1. He can't stop this massive move here easily. But he has bishop b7. Bishop here, bishop b7. Now, do I not have anything incredibly good there? If I can't, I'm going to go for knight e3. I'm going to have to go in a little bit of blitz mode. Rook d1. No, if I take there, he goes rook takes. Okay, I'm going to have to go knight e3. So this is the problem. My time is becoming a problem in this game, clearly. In such a complex position, you need to monitor your time earlier, and obviously the commentating does not help. Simon found this very good rook to h4 move in the position. Now, I'm not entirely happy moving my knight back to here, and I would not be surprised, and I'll leave it to you guys in the commentary. We'll also ask Simon afterwards if he could have found, if he saw a better option at all for me. I would not be surprised if there was some very strong tactical sequence which I missed. Maybe now I'm drawing into doubt knight to e5. Maybe now knight to e5 I'm having my doubts about. This is probably still okay for me though, because it looks like I should be winning a pawn back here. And then he still has problems with his pieces. Now, one important line is bishop b7 here, where I'm hoping I have bishop takes c4. Bishop takes d5, bishop takes, he's done it. He's going to simplify a lot of pieces off the board. That is the issue. I have to go bishop takes c4. I have no other options in this structure. Did I have f3 last move? I have to play this one. And this will lead to a pawn up ending for him. So this hasn't been a complete success for me, this game. Bloody cheat. I'm sure Simon's cheating a bloody cheat. You bloody cheat. Okay, well, I have to go for this move anyway. Now, I have to go bishop takes. I think there's no point looking at other options. Check here. No, I have to go for this. And luckily, I'm winning this one when Sai is a pawn up in the ending. Can he convert the ending? Opposite coloured bishops. I have a nice square on c4. My knight is quite strong. I don't think this is too bad for me at all. I have... This is better than Simon's. Probably compensates for the pawn down that I have here. One of the more interesting games that I've had, and I'll be fascinated to know where I could have improved earlier on, because sometimes in chess you can smell that there should be something there, and maybe in a longer time limit game I would have found it if I really had a chance to think in a more in-depth way. I mean, one thing you've got to do, guys, I mean, and girls, I don't always do this, but you've got to try and avoid playing too much blitz chess. I mean, I know I do it, but you've got to at least make sure you play longer time limits, because one thing that blitz cannot teach you to do is how to calculate. Blitz chess does not teach you how to calculate. You know, in blitz you don't have time to calculate variations, but in shall I say proper chess, long play chess, calculation is the most important thing. It's something that's going to take you to the next level. I mean, a game like this has shown how you should calculate in a way. You know, the lines I was looking at. I mean, I should have spent a little bit more time. Simon came up with this fantastic Rook H4 move. Otherwise, I think he was completely lost, and I missed that move. But don't play too much chess, because it's rather a false economy in that, you know, it's artificial. You have to play moves on instinct rather than calculation. I mean, and this is going to get you in bad habits for when you play in competitions. Okay, so Simon has now moved bishop here, and I'm just going to move my rook to d1. And again, this is my two pieces are developed here. What is more natural than bringing a rook to the open file? And it also stops Simon going knight d7, because I have bishop c6, and that would win the knight. So I really do think very adequate compensation for me here. It's Simon's idea to put his bishop upon f6 there. I mean, one thing I should really do is keep my knight here, because I don't want to allow the rook active. The most important thing in endgames is the activity of the rook in rook endings. So I've got to be very careful if I ever move my knight. I mean, I want to try to go knight d5 or knight c4, but I don't want Simon moving his rook to e2 and maybe his bishop here. I've got to avoid these things. I don't want to allow him to get active. So Simon now trying to tempt me into taking here when his rook can come in. Maybe then I go rook d2 and it's a draw. And also his other idea is to go bishop to g5 and try to get rid of my knight. So a good idea. Okay. So I'm tempted to take this anyway, but then rook here. I don't have rook d2, or do I? Because of rook e3. He's causing me problems here. Which is not very nice of him, is it? He's gonna bloody sack him if I lose. Oh god, my time. Okay, knight takes here, rook e2. Don't like that. Don't like it. But bishop f3. I can force his rook away. Okay. I mean, my time is so low. So thankfully, I've just noticed that I have bishop f3 if his rook comes in. So he's gone for a check first. Now king here and king here allows him time to play f5. So I think it's more important at the moment to not lose on time and to make sure I keep his rook out of the e2 square, because if I allow his rook to sit there, as I've mentioned before, it can be very problematic for me. So now, as long as I've got bishop f3, it seems like I'm just holding. My knight, though, has come to a very bad square. Very good move, bishop g5 from Simon as well, because his bishop was rubbish on e7, and now his bishop is kind of controlling my knight square here. But okay, it's equal on material now, and Sai has gone back. So I'm tempted to go bishop f3 anyway. I've got to move quick here, but then he's going to go pawn on, and I'm going to have to lose a pawn. Do I have... I've got to play quick, right. I've just got to play a bit more on instinct now. Whew. I moved very quickly with that one, but I'm a bit worried now that Simon has b3. Did I miss b3? And how do I stop this checkmate idea? Ooh, that's annoying. I've allowed this b3 move. Rook takes bishop, rook e1 mate. I have rook e5 going for an opposite colour bishop ending. That should save me. I didn't see that originally, but I have rook e5. He's also got... Okay, I have to go rook e5. I have to play it quick. It's too dangerous. The rook, keeping the rooks on the board was too dangerous. Simon finding all the moves to find me problems. Knight e5 there. I may have considered playing if I had more time, with the idea of the knight coming back to f3, keeping my rook active, and my knight on f3 stopping checkmate. But the problem is, I'm too worried about the back rank. And one thing you've got to do, if you get in time trouble in proper games of chess, don't go for the complicated solution. If you see something simple, take it. There's no point. Simple is good. Simple is good. In actual fact here, I'm starting to prefer my position, because now when my bishop comes back here, I might win one pawn in the ending, but it's opposite colour bishop ending. So more likely than not, it will sort of end in a draw, but a proper fight, this one. So bishop f4, I can take off, and then go bishop d5. I quite like this ending because my knight can come back to e3, and he can't really ever take my knight then, because then he'd be left with, if I get rid of the rooks in positions, endings, middle games, you should always be thinking what exchanges help you and what exchanges hinder you. And if I can get rid of the rooks and the bishop and knight, I love the colors I'm making, I will now be left with my bishop versus his knight. And I like that because he's got a pawn on a light square, and I'll be able to maybe whip that one off, and it will give me more winning chances because opposite colour bishop ending will be extremely bad. Okay, here, well, I've got to take on e7. I'm not going to think about it. That move is completely forced. And now where to move my king? Well, I'm going to go for this ending here that I mentioned. I'm going to try to tempt him into taking it because I still have bishop d5, but he can take it and now come with his king to d6. So maybe I should have gone the other way and secured my knight on a much better square, because it's now looking like he can take this, which he has done, and he can stop my bishop getting to this square. And of course he's found the right moves. Now, as it's an ending, king activity is incredibly important. At the moment, his king activity is better than mine, so I need to try to get my king into the game. I still prefer my bishop to his knight. It's equal on material, but b3 is a weakness, so I can target that with my king. And if his king ever okay, now is he going to go knight here? Got to look for your opponent's moves and what his threats are. He's going to go knight here, so pawn here, I can't allow that. Otherwise he's going to go here though. He's finding move time and time again good moves. Bastard. I know there's a reason we employ Simon. Now bishop here. No, I have to play this move. He's finding very good moves in this ending though. I don't want to allow the knight here, but now his knight can come to c4, and his knight is looking very, very good. So knight e5, king to d2, knight to c4, and then I have to try king to c3. If he takes here, I take on b3. If he takes on a5, he's kind of, his knight becomes very passive then. So I think the balance is held. I thought I was better in this ending, but I'm now not so convinced that I am better in this ending, because he's managed to activate his two main pieces. I'm just relying on this plan of getting my king to c3. Without this plan, I would be in serious trouble. So let's have a look. So knight e5. This, okay, and now I have to go here. I haven't got any choice. Knight to c4. I have to go to c3. Now he can take this pawn, but I'm not so worried about that, because then his knight will be stuck defending. And I can always move my bishop to e2. And I think he has to be careful, because in some positions, a winning plan I have, let's say he wins a pawn here. That's not right, because again, you've got to trade off winning material with activity. And if he puts his knight upon this horrible square on a5, he'll realize this is an international master. He wins a pawn, but his knight is completely out of the game. So of course he's picked a better idea here, and he wants to come in with his king. Much better idea. Okay, well, I have to play here, and I want to try and get a majority of pawns. I want to exchange my e pawn for this pawn, but can I target? What's his plan? Is he going to come? He needs to check my king. If he can check my king, he'd be doing well. Now I can put my bishop on e2. If I go e4, he goes f4. I don't like that. I put my pawn on the wrong colour square. Is his king coming this way? Well, maybe. Maybe I should be putting my bishop on e2. But then if he takes, what's that like here? I don't mind that. Okay, it looks like my bishop should be on e2 now, because I need to target his pawns on the light squares. So I'm trying to get my bishop here, because this stops him just coming over and attacking this, because I take on c4. I don't know if it stops him. I don't know what this king and pawn ending's like. I don't know who this would... I think it's going to be better for me, because if he takes on f3, It looks much better for me because if he ever takes there, I take on c4. So the idea of attacking his pawn on the light square may have been a very important idea for me then in that position. And of course, this is what I'm going for. I just want to go bishop e2 and maybe even try to get him in some kind of zugzwang position then. You know, if I'm going to try to win. And now, very long game. It's the longest game I've ever had. It's been a very, very tough game. Has he forgotten about his clock? Simon, he may have forgotten about his clock. Oh, just in time. Okay, right. So he's trying to use his pawns over here. I'm going to go bishop e2 quickly. I think he realizes, Simon does, that he's in a little bit of danger here. So I'm playing bishop e2, king here straight away. Now, knight here is the way to try and win. But then knight here. a6 is also, I've got here, but then g4. I've got h3. h3 is a great move, because if I go h3, I can go g3 and h4, and I can get a passed pawn. And a rook's passed pawn against the knight is incredibly dangerous. If I'd have gone h3 first, sorry, if I'd have gone g3 first, he would have gone g4, and I'd never be able to create a passed h pawn. But in this position, I'm threatening h4, and then a passed rook's pawn is really hard for a knight to deal with. A knight can't deal with a passed rook's pawn. I'm kind of feeling now that this position should be on the verge of winning for me. Am I counting my chickens too soon? So he's going to try to get counterplay with this, and then bishop takes here, knight takes here, here. He queens with check. Cheeky little guy. Oh wow. So takes here, takes here. He queens with check. I take here, draw. Maybe a draw is a fair result in this very tough game. So can I not try to win this somehow? King d2. King d2 here. King d2, keeping them on the board. This is the only way I can see to try and win. It looks like a very natural move, but I quickly calculated the king and pawn ending if I'd have taken there. Because my king was on the wrong square, it may have been lost. But what is this? Well, I've got to take... Well, I'm going to take with the king, even though it might not be natural. And now... Okay, bishop b5. I'm going to try to use my pawn. If I can use it, but he's also... Okay, his pawn's coming. Let's push our pawn. Come on, Harry. Come on, Harry. And this is the thing. A rook's passed pawn. Very tough for a knight to stop. Very tough for a knight to stop. I can always sacrifice my bishop for his pawn. And then I'll be able to get another passed pawn over on the queen side, because I put my pawn on h7, my pawn on b6, and his king and knight won't be able to stop both of them. So that's why he's gone for this move. And now does bishop here? Is that the right move? Trying to force his knight to a bad square. I don't know. He's found the only way to keep in the game, because he's keeping an eye on this pawn. And where does my king want to go? c3? I don't even know what the right square is. I have to be careful. Maybe I should have come around this way. It'd be a tragedy to lose this game somehow. I mean, I shouldn't lose, but I'm worried if he can get his knight here. I don't know how quick it is. My plan, on the other hand, of course, is to try to create my passed pawn over on this side of the board. Okay, but he's now coming this way. Okay, I'm going to move my king in. I'm hoping to get rid of his f-pawn. Probably going to be a draw, isn't it, after all this activity here? It's great playing at higher rate of play, because you get these much tougher games. Now very short a time. Very, very short a time. And, well, I think he's holding this very well. King takes... This must be the move. But, okay, no, he's gone for this. So, well, if anyone can win, it'll be me. But is this enough to win? I think I have great chances, because his king is so far out of play. And my king can just come in. So I think this is probably winning for me. This was a clever move to stop his king coming across. And now it should be a matter of just getting over in time. His knight is pretty dead now. So I'm just going to come across, try to take this. The other thing I can do is trying to trap his knight. Now, do we go? Let's go for his pawn. Let's go straight for his pawn. No point messing about, because, well, I've got it. Okay, I've got the pawn, and this should now be pretty winning for me, as long as I don't fluff it up. Got to make sure he doesn't get to my B pawn in time. Okay, this should be, but a very tough game there. We'll try to get... I know Simon didn't think this game would go on as long as this. I hope he's not too annoyed, because this has, of course, been the longest long play game. If you're still with me, well done. I hope it's been sort of good to help you out in ways. But if Simon is not in too much of a rush, because I know he's looking after his son at the moment, that might distracted him through this game. His son is on half term holidays in England, so he might have to do a runner. But okay, well, we still have to win this one. He's always finding tricky moves. King here, here, check. Blooming heck, Simon, that is a really tricky move. Okay, what about king here? Then king here, knight here. Has he somehow find some... Can't be a draw, can it, this position? Surely not. Okay, I need to waste a move, maybe. B3. That is a quite very strange ending. I need to get my pawn up here, but I'm not sure how to do this. Maybe I need to kind of zugzwang him. If he goes king c7, I need to now try and get my pawn to this square by taking away the squares for Simon's knight. It should be winning, but it's quite tricky now. Quite tricky. Because if you can just imagine he didn't have a move. If he didn't have a move here, then he would be okay. So I want to go b4. When he goes knight there, I want to go bishop here. Maybe this is a draw. What the hell? What the hell? Is he even going to try to... Oh, he can't win, can he? Wow. I think he may have held the draw here. I think he's got a fortress. This is one for table based. I mean, maybe we'll call it a draw anyway. I mean, I'll try playing a little bit, because I was hoping now here, but then he just goes to a2. And there's no way through. I was hoping to eliminate the squares for his knight, but he's got a2. I can't see how I'm going to win this one. What is this? My king is in the bad square, and I can never get rid of his blockade, because his knight will just keep going to different squares. There's nothing I can do here. Bishop here, knight here, bishop here, knight there. This is the draw. This position, unbelievable draw. Of course, I should have been winning that ending. I kind of relaxed a bit too much. It shows you never relax. But okay, let's get Simon on. I think it's a draw, and it's not so important now. But I'm going to offer him a draw in this position, because I'm sure he's in a rush. And let's get him on board now. Wow. Okay, that was a fun game. Okay, let's give Sai a ring, and we'll give him a bell now. Let's see if we can get him on. Let's see if he's available to speak, and we'll have a look. Okay, he's just saying 1 sec, so we'll get him on in a minute. Okay. Do you want? Okay. Let's just see. Oh, he's going to ring me. Okay, let's see. Hello, Simon. How you doing?
All right, I'm good, thanks. Sorry, I just have to get my camera set up. So.
No worries, mate. So let me just set you up on Skype at my end so people can see you as well. And well, that was interesting, though.
That was a good game, wasn't it?
That was actually a really good game, I think.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah. What the hell was going on there? Do you know?
Well, I mean, it was one of those dodgy Slavs that I've had so many times, and
yeah,
where you're a pawn up and it feels like you're just going to get mated or something if you make one
bad move. I have to say so.
But I survived, so yeah, and then I must have been doing well, but you outplayed me, so
yeah, then I must be winning the ending.
Somehow I draw, but
I guess this final position is just a draw, side.
Yeah, I think the final position is a draw, because I just keep the king on c7 and just I've always got a square for my knight, haven't I?
You've always got square for your knight. Yeah, your knight can just hop in and out, which is strange. Just going back, I thought, I don't know if I missed anything earlier on. It kind of, as you say, felt like I should be doing really, really well. But I've got the board up in front of me, Si, just showing everyone.
I mean, I can't see what you're analysing, but
sure. But you know, we weren't going to deep lines, but you know your Rook H4 move. That was a great move. I missed that one.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rook H4 was a good move, but I was expecting you to go knight D2 there, not knight E5. But
instead of knight E5, knight D2.
Yeah, precisely that reason, because the difference is
Yeah.
with knight on D2, your rook has the E5 square. If I ever go bishop B7.
Oh, right. Okay, so if you go bishop B7, I always have a check. That's much
I mean,
better.
I don't know if it's relevant, but I mean, the game panned out that.
Yeah, that's probably a very good idea. I don't actually need to go forwards with my knight. I didn't actually look at going backwards.
I mean, I know you don't like to go backwards. But...
I don't like to go backwards, but sometimes going backwards is the new forwards, yeah?
Indeed, yeah. Well, you're going to go forward next move. So.
That's it.
There was another moment as well when the queens came off.
Okay, I'm just looking at the position now. You can probably look at the board in front of you, Si, if you haven't closed it down. But,
I've got the game on, so like.
Okay, if you tell me what move, the viewers at home can see as well.
I mean, do you want to? Are we going to go through the whole game, or you want to just go?
Should we go through the whole game briefly?
Yeah, just very quickly enough.
Okay, I know you're in a bit of a rush. Well, let's go to the critical moments. The first critical moment I thought was after Queen takes D5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to go to. So
yeah, so I thought here I should do what I do: take and castle queenside. That looked best, no?
Yeah, I mean that looks natural, and I think I have to go H6 as well.
Yeah, and originally after H6, I was planning bishop takes C4.
Really? Well, this is the moment I was going to mention. Well, I thought I was expecting rook E1 check.
Rook E1 check. Okay.
Yeah, that's another possible as well. So.
You know, the reason I didn't want to play this because I was always fascinated about getting my other rook to E1, but with the idea of bringing the knight to E5. Okay. Is that very strong?
I mean, I didn't see bishop takes C4 at all. So I don't know. Do you want to show me the idea behind that?
I don't think it works. I mean, originally I would have played bishop takes C4. Yeah. Bishop takes C4, and then go rook on H to E1 check.
Yeah, and
I forgot you have bishop E7.
Bishop E7, yeah.
Yeah, and after bishop E7, I forgot that. Well, basically, you're just defending everything, so it's not very.
You can't have rook D5, just like G5. Yeah.
I think you got H to G5. Rook then takes D5.
G5, knight C6.
Yeah, knight C6.
And you got rook C5.
Then rook C5. Maybe you can even castle.
Just do rook C8 and then castle or something. I've been material back. So.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good as what happened in the game, does it? You know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So I've completely lost the game.
You have to press refresh. There's a little round thing with an arrow on.
Right. Okay, got it.
That will bring you back and refresh the position. But it was such a complicated game, though, Si, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, shall I show you what I was analysing?
Yeah. Show us what you're analysing. Yeah.
So after H6, I was expecting what did I say? I was expecting rook E1 check, and I was analysing bishop E7. I think is forced.
Yeah.
And then I was just looking at bishop takes E7, knight takes E7, knight F5.
Yeah.
And then I have to. I mean, it's a very forcing line. Then knight C6.
Yeah.
And then, you can't attack the knight on E7 again. So
yeah.
At least I didn't think you could.
No.
That seems to be right. So I was looking at knight D6 check here.
Knight D6.
And I wasn't sure where I should move my king.
Right. If you should try to come to C7 or the other way. Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, you're going to take the pawn back on C4, and you've probably still got compensation. But it kind of felt like I was okay. So. Yeah.
It doesn't look winning for me, does it, by any means?
No, but I mean, this is how I was expecting the game to go. I mean, I guess a less aggressive player than you probably would have done this. But
yeah. I mean, it looked great.
I don't know whether king F8 here is best or king D7, but either way, I'm going to be a pawn up, and you're going to still have place.
Yeah. Well, I thought knight E5 was very strong in the game if we go there, but I just missed your rook H4. I mean, without rook H4, you might have been in trouble, you know.
Because the thing is, after the move I mentioned, knight D2.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking about just going F6 there.
F6, okay.
But I can't do that with the knight on E5 because of knight G6, I think.
Right, knight comes into G6.
So so I had to come up with something else, and at least I can. And I figured, okay, sure, well.
Yeah. And I guess after F6 in the game, knight D2, F6, I got loads of comp here, but still not. It's only compensation.
I mean, I'm still going to be a pawn up, and it's not.
Yeah, you're still a pawn up, aren't you?
It's still a game. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily better, but
I might not even be better there. But in the game, let's just have a look. I mean, knight E5. Earlier on, when I played that, you found this rook H4 move, which was a great move, and I just couldn't get. Even here, I was convinced there might be something. Knight F5, rook E4.
I mean, knight E5. If I go rook F4, I guess you just go G4, yeah.
If you go rook F4, I thought G4 might be a little bit slow. I thought you might have G or rook bishop B. Maybe rook F4 is okay actually. Yeah. But,
okay. I mean, or maybe. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't. The thing is, rook E4 looks natural because.
Yeah.
you can't go f3 because of rook e1 check and rook takes f1, right? So.
Yeah. And what I mean, just okay, just going to. There's one. I just want to show you one line I was looking at after you got this rook h4 in, and I went knight to e3.
No,
okay.
yeah, I was expecting knight e3. I didn't see anything else for you. So.
I wanted to go bishop e2. What would you done on move? This is move 17.
Instead of knight e3. Wow.
Yeah, bishop e2 was the move I wanted to play. But the idea, rook takes e2, rook d1.
Wow.
If you take this one, I go rook d1.
Yeah, I would have gone into the tank there. I think if you.
Yeah, I mean this is quite dangerous. If you know, I'm threatening rook d8 checkmate. You can't move your knight easily.
Okay, I mean is bishop b7 not a move again?
That's what I was worried about. Bishop
you can go
b7.
bishop f3, no?
Well, after bishop e2.
Yeah.
Well, then you just go bishop takes rook, don't you? So.
Sorry, yeah. I was thinking you were going to win my rook on a8, but it's just it's complete nonsense. Isn't it?
I think it's just nonsense. Bishop b7 just refutes it. So I mean, I
was expecting knight e3 because I didn't see what else, but I didn't consider bishop e2.
No.
To be fair.
And then let's just have a quick.
So I guess rook e1 check is a threat now for black. Right?
After which one? Sorry. Oh, after you go rook e4, rook e1 check.
And then just rook takes f1. It's just a threat, isn't it?
Then rook takes f1.
Followed by c3 and or something.
Yeah.
I mean something along those lines. So.
Yeah, it's just a really weird position.
7 is a threat as well. So
yeah, bishop b7. I think I have to go for it. And just by the way, I mean, if we look at the ending, of course I'm winning in the ending.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether there's some
right at the end. Is there any way? I mean, if we go to what I'm 2
better
pawns
somehow
up,
about now, right? But I couldn't find. I mean,
what move? Sorry.
Okay, we get into this position where the we liquidate, and okay, you still have some compensation for the pawn.
Yeah.
And actually, I felt you should have enough. It should probably be about equal. But at some point, when the rooks came off, because I had this back rank trick, it felt like I was doing well sometime around there, and I didn't.
Right.
But he just completely outplayed me when, and I didn't transpose into probably the best version of the knight against bishop endgame.
Yeah, I was a bit worried. I thought it might be better there as well.
It should be good for black, even winning, but I just.
Yeah, you're right. After
I didn't have time to figure it out, so because I don't know whether g4 is a good move or not. I actually missed something, right? You know this g4 pawn stack I played.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I missed actually after bishop g5 check king b1. I was intending to go rook e2, but I missed bishop f3.
Bishop f3, yeah.
So I had to. So I went back, and then you let me go b3, and it gets a bit random again.
Yeah. Maybe I should have even.
I don't know. G4 makes some sense just to activate my pieces, but it wasn't as good as I.
Wasn't as good as you thought.
E2, so.
Yeah, and then of course, if we let's just go to the ending. I mean.
Yeah, the end game. Of course. I mean,
let's go to move 53.
Yeah, I mean, if you are winning, I think. But obviously, once my king gets to c7, that's.
Yeah. So instead of going a6, I'll move 54.
Yeah, you should go king b6, of course.
King b6, yeah, cool. So I just got to stop your king coming in, and then if you go knight check, I probably put my king on d6, do I? So
I don't know. I hadn't.
King
I was
c6.
expecting king b6, and then I resigned shortly.
Yeah, and this is just
because
completely.
I can't get your b2 pawn, so
yeah, I just stop your king coming in.
I don't know if you're winning after a6. It's a bit tricky.
After I play a6,
where, like, you can try king b8 or king.
Whereabouts? What move?
After a6, king c5. Yeah. Bishop e2.
Yeah. King c6.
King c6. Yeah. If king b8, then I've got this little trick. King b6. Right?
You've got king b6. I couldn't see.
It's really annoying because that draws as well. So.
I know. A7, and then you have this check.
Knight c6 check.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Now maybe can you not go bishop e8 or something and cover the c6 square, or bishop a4? Bishop a4 makes more sense.
What move?
So when you went move 55, bishop e2, right?
Yeah.
If you go say bishop a4 just to cover the c6 square.
Bishop a4 to stop your knight coming here, and your king
also
coming
stop
in.
King c6, yeah.
Yeah.
That might do the trick as well. I don't know. I mean.
Yes. And I just want to go king b7 and push, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. And I can always go b3.
Cover the c6 square.
Yeah, a4 is a much better square. I've got to cover c6, yeah.
So I guess you were probably winning for. It was basically 2 blunders in a row. And
yeah, 2 blunders.
I mean, that night against bishop endgame, did you not feel that black was?
I felt like around, again, if we tell the moves so everyone knows what we're talking about, I mean, it's probably easier. But I thought I'd probably slightly worse around move 30. Let's say around this position, I thought I could be 30, worse.
Yeah, a5 I didn't understand, but I guess you just want to get the pawn on him.
Well, I wanted to stop knight b6 as well. I just thought if
Okay,
you go
yeah, fair enough.
knight b6 and take my pawn, then I've got no chances. So I thought I had to stop that. And around king d2,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wasn't sure whether. Yeah, after king d2, I mean, I have a decision to make whether to commit, because c4 is very committal, isn't it?
Yeah, because you put your pawn on the light square. Yeah.
But I didn't really have time to analyse the consequences, so I just did it. I mean, I was aware that it might backfire, and it did.
Yeah. But at least your king comes in. I think a very important move that I had to play, Simon, was on move 34, bishop e2, bishop f3 to e2.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'd seen this coming, but I wasn't. I mean, it's so hard to calculate all these knight jumps with no time. So
With no time. Yeah. As soon as
I guess maybe I should go knight c4 check instead of c4, and
yeah.
At least I think probably black is a bit better though, right? I mean, it's probably a draw, but
yeah.
I'm certainly not worse.
You shouldn't be worse here. As long as you don't take on a5. Take on a5.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take your e3 pawn.
Take on e3, yeah. No, take on b3, and your pieces are very active here, yeah? So probably a draw, but...
It's probably a draw, but I would take black, I guess.
Yeah, I think so, because your king's a bit more active. Yeah. Your knight's a little bit more annoying as well, isn't it? So, yeah. Well, all right, Simon. I mean, that was a long game.
Again.
So, yeah, thanks, mate. I mean, we're just recording this, so it'll be up on YouTube like in a little bit of time. But
I guess I'll be interested to see what you thought.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm not going to put it on a computer. Well, I might have a little look on a computer now, but I probably won't. We'll probably leave that to the viewers.
The only thing I'm not sure. I've had something similar in a blitz game, a couple of blitz games, but nothing quite exactly the same as that. So
it looked like I should be doing well. I feel somewhere there. My pieces are so good, but we didn't find anything clear in our analysis there, did we? So.
No, I mean,
nothing too clear. And well, sorry, I mean, before we stop this call, you're obviously the other half of GingerGM. Anything you want to say about GingerGM or anything really? So,
not especially, no.
No.
Look out for our new card game that we're working on. That's what.
Simon's making a new card game which should be out very soon, so you do keep your eye at home on that card game. We'll let you know more about it when it comes out. And sign up to our newsletter. That'll give you more information on the card game and stuff. But all right, so well, look, I'll let you go because I know you've got a kid to look after, Toby.
I have, yeah.
So I'll get in contact with you soon, yeah, mate. So
yep. All right.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go. I thought it was nice to, be nice to get Simon's thoughts there. And I know this has been a very long video, but these important things which we've just done is one of the best ways you can get better at chess. If you're playing in a tournament, in a tournament game, and you're well, should we say, you lose a game. This is why people analyze their games. By analyzing your games, you can certainly get the view. I missed some of the ideas that Simon pointed out, and it's really interesting to see how he was thinking, because again, if I had the same thing, I might think in a different way. So analyzing your games is so important. So you've got my thoughts there, and you've got Simon's thoughts in a very interesting game. Of course, I completely fluffed up the ending there. What an idiot I was. I just relaxed and didn't care so much. Silly. Never relax until you shake hands. We could see that I missed a couple of simple wins in the ending. So around here, let's just point those out. The first one was a6 is a slight mistake because I allow my opponent's king to come too near. Still winning when I do that, but if I just go king b6, this is easily winning. I didn't want to do this because of the check on d5, but my king can just shoulder out my enemy, my opponent's enemy king, and as long as I do that, the a6 pawn is cleared to pass. So that was the first silly mistake. But even after a6, king c5 in the game, I played bishop to e2, but this allows my opponent access to c6. Instead, bishop to a4 is a simple win, as again Simon pointed out, because I control this square. My idea is king to b7, queen. Even here, had I put my bishop on e8, it's the same principle, and I expect this is an easy win as well. King b7 and queen, just got to control the c6 square. But all in all, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll try to come back with some more, maybe some little bit shorter ones than that. But please let me know your views in the comments section below. Thank you so much for viewing, and I'll catch you again soon.